Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and right now you can get this sweet Scoop Soldier sticker when you order over at cardkingdom.com. Just mention in your order notes that you want a Scoop Soldier sticker when you go to checkout. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech, and we have a spicy Pioneer list today. Good lord. So this deck, it combines a kind of under-the-radar standard combo deck, Prime Speaker Vannifar combo, with the dominant combo deck of the Pioneer format that is Inverter of Thousands Oracle. Basically, this is a deck that's looking to win with Inverter of Thousands Oracle, but in a ridiculously different way than the top tier Dimir Inverter deck. And we're going to break down just the insane plan this deck has for actually pulling off the combo kill, maybe in one massive combo turn when it untaps with Prime Speaker Vannifar. So this one comes to us from Kurusu, who took it to a 5-0 finish in a Pioneer League on Magic Online. So congrats to Kurusu on a really crazy deck. And a quick reminder before we break down Vannifar combo for Pioneer. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos and all the puns that I'm sure would come along with this super complicated deck, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So Vannifar combo, I'm probably going to butcher explaining this, but it's built around Prime Speaker Vannifar. You know what this one does? It's like a birthing pot essentially. You can tap it to sack a creature, to tutor for a creature, with a creature that you sack's convert a mana cost +1. So the idea of this isn't just to value our way through our deck with Prime Speaker Vannifar, getting silver bullet targets or whatever. No. We are looking to combo off hardcore, win the game, maybe the turn that Prime Speaker Vannifar loses Summoning Sickness, and we can actually activate it. So how do we actually go about doing this? Well, step one is ramping into Prime Speaker Vannifar. We have a ton of 1 mana and a 2 mana ramp spell in Elvish Mystic, Gilded Use, Land of Elves, and Wood Sylvan Caryatid. So these cards speed us into our Vannifar, and they can also start our Vannifar combo chain, where we're able to sacrifice a 1-drop to get something and start the process of winning the game. So how do we actually combo off with Vannifar? And this is where the deck gets crazy. So our first steps of Vannifar combo are Corridor Monitor and Bounding Crosses. This is a 2-mana creature and a 3-mana creature. Their text in general doesn't matter. The big deal is when they come into play, they can untap Prime Speaker Vannifar. So this means if we can get an unsummoning sick Prime Speaker Vannifar, we can sacrifice one of our 1-mana mana dorks, get a Corridor Monitor. That's going to come into play, untap Prime Speaker Vannifar. We can sacrifice our Corridor Monitor to get a Bounding Crosses, which can untap Prime Speaker Vannifar, let us get something else. We also have a couple of kind of tricky untap effects in Renegade Rallier and Golgari Finebroker. So these don't directly untap Vannifar, but they get back untapped creatures from our graveyard. Renegade Rallier just gets back a creature with converted mana cost 2 or less directly on the battlefield. That means we can Corridor Monitor, untap Vannifar, sacrifice Corridor Monitor to get Renegade Rallier. Renegade Rallier gets back our Corridor Monitor. When that comes into play, untaps Vannifar, that we can sacrifice something else. Golgari Finebroker just gets a permanent back to our hand, so kind of similar to Renegade Rallier, but we actually have to spend mana on our creature to cast it to untap Vannifar. So this gives us a ton of different ways to untap Vannifar. And then what really puts our deck into overdrive is Woe Strider and Nightmare Shepherd. And this is where the deck kind of resembles a crazy standard combo deck. So the idea here is Nightmare Shepherd essentially doubles up our untap triggers, but it needs our things to die to be able to do that, because when our untap thing, like our Corridor Monitor or Bounding Crosses, dies, Nightmare Shepherd can get it back, which gives us another untap trigger with Vannifar. Woe Strider is our way that we can sacrifice our Corridor Monitor, our Bounding Crosses, our Renegade Rallier to get those additional untap triggers. And this is also where the deck gets a little bit convoluted, because we can't actually just go Prime Speaker Vannifar, sack a 1-drop, sack a 2-drop, sack a 3-drop, win the game. We do need one extra untap somewhere. We need one untap from our hand, because we can Prime Speaker Vannifar, 1-drop into Corridor Monitor, into Bounding Crosses, into like Nightmare Shepherd, but then we need to start the process over, so we need to be able to untap one time by like casting an untapped creature from our hand or having some other way to do it. Thankfully, we have Eldritch Evolution as a way we can find our extra untapped creature, or just tutor out like our Nightmare Shepherd, our Woe Strider, whatever combo piece we are missing. But if we can get Prime Speaker Vannifar, Nightmare Shepherd, Woe Strider going, we're basically basically guaranteed to win the game, because that means we can, like, Prime Speaker Vannifar sacking, like, Corridor Monitor to get a Woe Strider, let's say. Corridor Monitor dies, it comes back into play thanks to Nightmare Shepherd untaps Vannifar, that we can sack something else to keep repeating that process. So we basically just have all the untaps we could ever need once we get this set up. So how do we actually win the game? And this is still pretty complicated. So the way we win is Thassa's Oracle with Inverter of Truth. But the order that we have to do this is a little bit complicated. So we do have 4 Thassa's Oracles. It's a fine creature to cast on turn 2 and just dig through our deck, put something on top of it, find one of our combo pieces. Good way to find our extra untapper that we need or whatever. But what we need to do is we need to Thassa's Oracle. Then we need to sacrifice our Thassa's Oracle as part of our Vannifar combo to get it in our graveyard. Then as we go up the chain with Vannifar, we can get Inverter of Truth. Inverter of Truth is going to put the Thassa's Oracle back in our deck when it inverts our library, along with everything else in our graveyard. The problem is, since we're sacrificing so many creatures, we are likely putting a bunch of cards back in our graveyard. It's not like the Dimir Inverter deck, where we're going to have like 2 cards and we just win right away. So what we need to do is double Inverter, which is bring us back around to Woe Strider and Nightmare Shepherd. So we can, okay, let me see if I can explain this correctly. Thassa's Oracle, just for value. Then we sacrifice Thassa's Oracle, get a Bounding Crosses or whatever to untap Prime Speaker, take the Bounding Crosses to get the Inverter of Truth, and then we get back the Bounding Crosses with Nightmare Shepherd and untap Prime Speaker, so it's still untapped. Inverter of Truth is going to put our graveyard back in our library, including that Thassa's Oracle. Then we can sacrifice a random 1-drop to get our Thassa's Oracle again. Thassa's Oracle is going to come into play. This time our graveyard is empty because we just inverted with Thassa Oracle trigger on the stack because our library is going to be big. That's where we can sacrifice Inverter of Truth to our Woe Strider to get it back with our Nightmare Shepherd. This time we have 0 cards in our graveyard because we just inverted on the same turn. Nothing's in there. That's going to empty the rest of our deck, but we got to do it with the trigger on the stack, because if we do it too early, we're going to exile the Thassa's Oracle, which is in our library, and we need that Thassa's Oracle to win the game. So, hopefully that makes sense. It is all this weird sort of timing stack shenanigans that allow us to pull off this really convoluted, maybe in 1 turn, possibly as early as turn 3, Vannifar up the chain, ending with double Inverter of Truth, because the first one isn't enough, into like double or triple Thassa's Oracle, because we put one back in our library with Inverter of Truth, and I hope that makes a bit of sense. But trust me, if you untap with a Prime Speaker Vannifar in some semblance of a board and have 1 additional untap effect, either one that you can just cast from your hand or use Eldritch Evolution to find, you should win the game that turn, as long as you can do it without punting, which is the challenge of the deck. Otherwise, Tireless Tracker, Scavenging Ooze, just want to value cards, Fatal Push so we have some interaction, Mana Base, we get a bunch of shock lands, some fast lands, a couple of random dual lands including a Mana Confluence, Fabled Passes, some basic lands. In the sideboard, for controlling matchups, we get Thought Seize, bunch of counter spells. Vivian, Tireless Tracker, and Scarab God give us some card advantage for grindy matchups, just kind of non-traditional ways to draw a card. Scarab God reanimating stuff from the graveyard, Tireless Tracker with Goose, Vivian by digging through our deck for creatures. And then for creature matchups, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy also deal with Graveyard Hate, which is worth mentioning. We do want our graveyard to pull off this combo. Assassin's Trophy to kill early game creatures. And that is the absurd, ridiculous combo deck, Vannifar combo for Pioneer, and that's been our instant deck tech for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.